You've heard the name Lucky Luciano, but do you know the real story behind America's most infamous mobster? Was he truly the mastermind who single-handedly created the modern mafia? Or is there more to the tale? Today, you'll discover the truth about Lucky Luciano, separating fact from fiction in this thrilling journey through the underworld of 1920s and 30s New York. Imagine being a young boy arriving in a new country with dreams of a better life. That was Salvatore Luciano in 1907. But instead of the American dream, he found streets overflowing with garbage due to sanitation worker strikes, a neighborhood filled with rival gangs and constant violence, the harsh reality of poverty in the Lower East Side. How did this environment shape the future crime boss? Luciano quickly learned to survive by forming his own gang. He offered protection to Jewish kids for a fee, showing early business savvy. School became less important than street smarts and making money. By 14, Luciano had dropped out of school, gotten his first legal job as a hat store courier, started dealing drugs on the side. But his criminal career was just beginning. What would push him to become one of the most powerful gangsters in America? Picture this. It's 1920, and alcohol has just been banned across America. For criminals like Luciano, it's the opportunity of a lifetime. During Prohibition, Luciano partnered with Jewish gangsters like Meyer Lansky and Benjamin Bugsy Siegel, robbed liquor warehouses and sold stolen booze to speakeasies, set up his own illegal distilleries to produce alcohol, worked with multiple gangs and crime families, always putting profit first. But Luciano wasn't content being a small-time player. He had his eyes on a bigger prize. In 1925, he joined the powerful Mafia crime family, quickly rising through the ranks. By 1928, he was a high-ranking capo, captain in the organization. Yet Luciano's ambition and business sense would soon lead him to make a fateful decision. What choice would change the face of organized crime forever? Now, my dear viewers, imagine a city torn apart by rival gangs, with bodies piling up on the streets. That was New York during the Castellamarese War of 1930 to 31. The war was between Joe, the boss, Masseria, Luciano's boss, Salvatore Maranzano, a newly arrived Sicilian mafioso. Luciano, ever the opportunist, saw a chance to eliminate both bosses and take control himself. He orchestrated a plan that would shock the underworld. First, he arranged the murder of his own boss, Masseria, in April 1931. Then just months later, he had Maranzano killed in September 1931. With both leaders out of the way, Luciano was now in position to reshape the mafia. But how would he change the face of organized crime? You might think Luciano would crown himself the new boss of all bosses, but he had a different idea. Instead, he created the Commission, a governing body for organized crime that included the heads of the 5 families of New York, added bosses from other major cities like Chicago and Cleveland, aimed to settle disputes and avoid costly gang wars. This new structure brought relative peace to the underworld, allowed criminals to focus on making money instead of fighting, cemented Luciano's reputation as a savvy businessman and leader. But was Luciano really the sole mastermind behind this new order? Or has history given him too much credit? Just when Luciano thought he was untouchable, a new threat emerged. Thomas Dewey, a young ambitious prosecutor determined to bring down organized crime. Dewey's investigation revealed Luciano's control over New York's prostitution rackets. A vast network of brothels exploiting thousands of women, millions of dollars flowing into Luciano's pockets. In a dramatic turn of events, Luciano fled to Arkansas, trying to escape justice. He was arrested and extradited back to New York. In June 1936, he was sentenced to 30 to 50 years in prison. It seemed like the end of Luciano's reign. But was this really the last chapter in his story? Surprisingly, Luciano's imprisonment wasn't the end of his influence. During World War II, the U.S. government sought his help to protect the New York waterfront from Nazi sabotage. Luciano used his underworld connections to assist the war effort. As a reward, his sentence was commuted in 1946. But he was deported to Italy. From exile, Luciano continued to influence American organized crime, helped establish international drug trafficking networks, lived a life of luxury until his death in 1962. Today, Luciano's legacy is complex. He's often credited with creating the modern American mafia, but many of his innovations were actually group efforts or ideas from others. His true talent may have been in recognizing good ideas and implementing them effectively. Here's something to think about. If Lucky Luciano were alive today, do you think he'd be a top criminal kingpin or a successful Wall Street tycoon? Share your thoughts in the comments below and tell us why. Now you know the real story of Lucky Luciano. Not just a brutal gangster, but a cunning businessman. A man who reshaped organized crime, but often exaggerated in legend. Someone who rose from poverty to power, only to lose it all. In the end, I'm grateful for every single one of you who has stuck with me until now. If you're as supportive as I think you are, I want to ask you a favor. To help us grow and reach more people, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your engagement means the world to me, and it'll help us create more content that explores the complexities of true crime.